Ever heard people say now is a great time to sell? But is it in Greenville? Well, it's not just great, it's golden. Right now, homes on average are spending barely just over a week on the market, and people who have bought within the last year alone have seen nearly a 15% increase in appreciation. Heck, if you bought your home within the last couple of years, odds are you're sitting on a lot more equity than you possibly could think. And is it more than what you think? Hey everyone, my name is Carson Dettmann, realtor with KW and your Greenville local real estate analyst. And today we're diving into why 2025 has been one of the strongest selling markets that we've seen in the last couple of years. And if you have a home that you want to see how much equity you actually have, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. I'll happily respond and we can get that personalized snapshot just for you. According to the latest data, Greenville's median sale price is around $280,000, which is up nearly 15% year over year. That is huge. Homes are nearly selling in about 8 days on average, which is 3 days faster than last year. And total homes have jumped nearly 50% over the same time period. So, you may be asking, what does that tell us? It tells us that demand is through the roof. Buyers are still coming in strong even with the higher rates, because Greenville continues to offer a ton of value compared to bigger nearby markets like Grand Rapids and or Rockford. And when you combine that demand with the limited supply we have, you'll get what we're seeing right now. Sometimes multiple offers, strong prices, and very little time for the maybe later mindset, especially if you're thinking about selling. There are 3 major reasons why Greenville is booming right now. And the first one is equity growth. People who have bought within the last 5 to 10 years are sitting on more equity than they possibly realize. Heck, let's say you bought a home for $150,000 to $180,000. Right now, that home could be worth $260,000, maybe $300,000. Heck, I've seen homes go for even more than that now. I saw an instance where someone bought a home for just over $150,000. And that home right now is valued at nearly $400,000. Yes, they did some improvements, but that's still a huge deal. To go from $150,000 when you originally bought it to nearly $400,000, that is huge. And it really just gives you an insight into how much equity you could potentially be sitting on. It's a lot more than what you think, especially given the last couple of years. It is potentially upwards of 15 to even more. The second is low inventory. Yes, we've had more inventory in the state of Michigan in the last couple of months. Compared to last year, actually, when I was relatively new to the business, I saw how low inventory we had. And at one point, it got close to 11,000, maybe even lower than that. And yes, I hear all over the news we have big housing shortages and it's this craze that's going on and we aren't building enough and people aren't selling. Well, the thing is, we have nearly double the amount of homes that we've had since last year. I mean, just to wrap your head around that, right now we're sitting at close to 27,500 homes on the market. Yes, that's over the course of the entire state of Michigan, but just think about that for a second, right? It's more than what we had. So, yes, even though it's not as strong of a seller's market as it was potentially last year, right now with the rates and people selling, you can get almost full price for your home. Some are ranging from 96% of what you're listing for, close to 100% of what you're listing for. Some people have seen over 110% of what they listed for. It really just depends on your strategy. And low inventory still is great for sellers. This means the demand does outweigh the supply. And the third is the lifestyle and migration changes. Well, let's be realistic. people who are living in the bigger cities, I've heard stories of people who lived in Chicago, even LA, move more to rural cities like Greenville, for example. It's more affordable and you can get a lot more bang for your buck. Heck, that's just Michigan in general. A sister of mine moved from Maryland. They sold their house for almost 600,000 and it wasn't big at all. It wasn't big remotely. And they bought a really big house here in Michigan because you get a lot more for your money here. And it's a lot more than what people are realizing. People are chasing that small town community, the lower costs, and that classic West Michigan quality of life. On the flip side, though, homeowners are selling and relocating to Traverse City, heck, even Florida. And that moves more opportunities for new buyers to come in. Now, if you're a homeowner in Greenville, you're kind of in the driver's seat. I mean, let's take a look at this information. Even though we've seen a tiny dip in the list to sale price ratio, homes are selling for nearly 96 to 100% of list on average. About half of all homes are still selling above asking, and that means with the right price and right marketing strategy, you could easily be looking at multiple offers or selling above your asking price. But the thing is, timing and planning matters. Gone are the days of throwing your house up on the market and 24 hours later, it's sold. The market isn't like that. It isn't as hot as it was 2020, 2021, when rates were low and people were buying like crazy. It's not like that anymore, but we still do have low inventory and high demand, which means with the right strategies, you can get what you're asking for, but you can't be unrealistic. Now, buyers are still motivated, but they're also more educated. They're comparing homes and noticing quality of homes. And even though we do have low inventory, you have to remember that we also still have 10,000 more homes than we did last year, which means they can be a bit more choosy. So to get top dollar for your house, it needs a good presentation. It needs to be clean, have a great marketing strategy, solid and competitive pricing, because if you're pricing your home that's really out of other people's budgets, you're kind of asking for your house to either stay on the market or not to sell. And I know that's not what some people want to hear, but it's the truth. If you are selling your house and you know that it needs fixes, don't try to list it at the same price another house is in your neighborhood even. Let's say you are listed at 300. That house is in way better condition and has way newer things and is also listed at 300. But your house is older, it needs repairs, it needs all of these things, and you're not factoring that into your price. It's going to make buyers choose like, well, if this is 300 and this is 300, but the quality of this one is way more than that one, why would I go for this one? It doesn't make any sense. Even as a seller, you would say it kind of doesn't make any sense. Granted, you do have memories and this home does mean a lot to you, but for a buyer, it won't be that way. They don't have that same emotional attachment to the house that you might have. And I've seen that happen more times than I can count, actually, where sellers have made questionable improvements on their house. Let's say they had purple carpeting in multiple rooms and they are trying to appeal to other buyers, let's say. Now, if I was a buyer and I came in and I saw purple carpet, I would be like, that's gonna have to get replaced. And even though to you, you're like, it doesn't need to be replaced, it's perfect the way it is, To them, they're like, it needs to be replaced. Now, looking ahead to this winter and 2026 overall, I don't see a market crash really happening anytime soon. I mean, if you look at the data, a market crash has not really happened in a good couple of years. And I say couple of years, I mean a lot longer than 5 years. We haven't had a crash, like a genuine crash, in ages. So people who are hoping for that crash are still going to be hoping for it, and it might not even happen. If anything, we'll probably see appreciation level off. Then let's think of steady and sustainable growth instead of the 15% jumps we've seen recently. Not just that, but inventory could likely tick up, and it just means that you may have more competition in where you plan on selling. But again, if you are marketing it and it's priced correctly, it has a good strategy, and you're realistic with it, your house, again, could sell for more than what you think it could. But it all boils down to being realistic with your pricing, having a good strategy, and being down to earth when it comes to repairs that your home needs. You can't just overlook them because buyers won't. And it's just that simple. Now, in Greenville, inventory will, again, likely tick up a little bit, especially with new construction, like Hathaway Green coming online. But demand is still too strong to swing this into a true buyer's market anytime soon. If you guys want to see how much your home could potentially be worth in today's market, or how much equity you could be sitting on, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My link in the description below, it's going to be the top link. Click on that and it'll bring you to guides and how to book a one-on-one session with me. That way we can really narrow down your price of your home and how much equity you could be sitting on. If you guys liked today's video, I am honored, and stay to the next one because I think you're going to like it. But until next time, see ya.